So today I want to answer the question, how to find the best way to keep your hair moisturized. On a couple videos ago, someone told me that this is one of their concerns, and I do believe that this is a really large concern for a lot of us in the natural hair community. So I've already made a video talking more in detail about what I recommend for a moisturization routine and how I found my own. But if I were to try to give you a couple of points just to give you a simple way to start figuring out sort of like a framework for how you could probably figure out your best moisturization routine, I would go with this. So first thing you need to realize is that even if you have 4C hair, so the metrics that other natural types, especially like from the 4A range, like and up, the metrics they use to tell if their hair is moisturized don't really, traditionally, we didn't think they worked for us, right? Like, oh, the hair is really soft, or the hair is shiny, or the hair curls and defines really nicely. And so we weren't able to really apply those metrics to our own hair, like 4C hair. But I've realized that to a certain extent, you can still use some of those metrics. So for me, I use shine to tell when my hair is still holding on to moisture. The way that this differs from other hair types, in my opinion, I don't actually know because I've never been like 3C or something. The way I think is that, so 4C hair doesn't shine naturally, right? So in order for it to be shiny, that means you had to like apply some sort of oil to it or something. So for me, when my hair retains moisture, on wash day, after I fully moisturize it, I've like sealed it in loads of castor oil. It's shiny, right? Because it's full of product that are full of oil, and the oil is reflecting the light, and the hair is doing its thing. So if it maintains that state for a long period of time, the shine is also preserved. So for instance, a week later when I go and look at my hair, if it's still shiny, that means the oil is still in it, the products are still in it, the hair is still holding on to all of that moisture, and so it looks moisturized. To me, that's one metric to tell whether my hair is moisturized. Like, I can see it physically is, reflecting light well and looking supple in comparison to like, how it looks normally, which, there's a low level of shine, but especially when your hair is primary protective style, so it's in twister braids and all the hair is clumped together, you can see that shine really well versus when it's looser. So that's one metric to use. If you are trying some new moisturization routine, and after a few days or a week you check your hair and it's still shining, like in your like 4C or, primarily 4C, then that is a positive sign that this moisturization method routine is working for you. Second metric I use is not applicable to full 100% 4C types because the hair doesn't define very well, as we all know. So my hair is very mixed, and so the sections of my hair that are like 4B, I have some sections up here, and then 4A in the back that do curl, I can look at those sections, and when they're clumping well, then I know that my hair is moisturized as well. Unfortunately, the rest of the 4C sections, they just stay frizzy. Obviously, they don't define. No matter how moisturized my hair is, no matter how much product is in it, they never clump together. So I can't use that metric for the 4C only portions of my hair. But if you have any section in your hair that's not 4C, one section that will curl, really pay attention to what that section is doing over time and in reaction to certain products. And that could help be a metric for you as well. So metric 2 for me is looking at the areas in my hair that do clump and paying attention to how they respond to certain products and moisture regimens to help me know whether or not that is working for my hair. And then I'll give you a third metric. The third metric I use is feel. So when my hair, and this is, of course, this is assuming that we are protective styling. We are protective styling all the time, because that's just, at this point, I hope all of you understand that that is a necessity, especially if you are a person who is still looking for the ideal moisturization regimen for you. Like, you're still struggling to retain moisture in your hair, and I assume your hair type is similar to mine. You need to be protective styling. So yeah, this is assuming that you're already protective styling primarily and secondarily. So you got all that going on. Third metric I use is to see how my hair feels. So obviously, like, still in braids, in twists. I compare it to how my hair felt on wash day. So for me, wash day is like the starting point, like 0.0. And then every day that passes from then, you move further away from 0. And my goal is to see how close to day 0 my hair feels like at some other point in time. So for me, I recommend using like how your hair feels, doing these assessments a week out from wash day, because as I've mentioned in other videos, even if you're 4C, your hair should be able to retain moisture for at least like 7 days. So if you haven't even made it to like the 7-day mark and you're not protective styling, that is your culprit right there. Start there. That is your foundation. That is your base. But after you've got that going on, then, for instance, my assessment's all washed, my hair's perfect, it feels great, everything's wonderful. 7 days later, I'll look at my primary protective styled hair, so I'll look at the twists, and I'll feel them. Like, do they still feel soft? And soft is in comparison to how it felt at day 0. So what soft feels like for you is determined by how your hair felt on day 0. After you've applied all your products, after you've protective styled, and then after your hair has dried, like that point right there, like once it's finished drying, right after being all moisturized, that is your 0.0. So how much of that suppleness, that shine, that like wonderful soft feeling is retained by day 7? If you look at your hair on day 7 and it's still got a good amount of shine, you touch it and it doesn't feel crispy, you don't feel like your ends are breaking off, you didn't accumulate like a ridiculous amount of single strand knots, and your hair just feels generally nice, then you're doing well. If by day 7, on the other hand, your hair has lost all the shine, it's super frizzy and fraying like from the braids or the twists, your ends are like crunchy, and you just feel like your hair feels like a tumbleweed, like you will know, because it didn't feel like that 7 days ago or 6 days ago, after you moisturized your hair and it was dry, whatever that state was, it feels way different from that. So that should be your metric. When you find something that, whatever product combination and protective styling regime, all days protective styling, but I mean like the protective style that works for you. After you find something that by day 7, your hair feels still really similar to how it felt on wash day, that is your moisturization regimen. That is what you should go with. That's what you should stick to. That's what you should run with. That is working for you. Okay, I hope that was helpful. This was just supposed to be a quick answer to that question, in addition to all of the information that I've already put out in other videos on this topic. So that was another way to think about it. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Mata ne. Bye.